What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And I guess welcome to another review for the Chris's Movie Challenge. Now we are getting into another action movie. I don't think I've reviewed an action film yet when it came to Christmas films. I don't believe I have. At least I don't think I did it because I know I reviewed a lot of comedies like Scrooged and Home Alone 1 and 2 and some horror films like Silent Night, Deadly Night, Christmas Evil, but I don't think I reviewed an action film yet for Christmas. So this, I guess, will be the first one for Christmas for action movies. And what more can you say about this film that hasn't been said before? I mean, the film speaks for itself, and if you can tell by the title of the video, it's going to be on Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon, classic movie from 1987, directed by Richard Donner. Richard Donner, ironically enough, the year before this the year after this he would actually do Scrooge with Bill Murray. Because Scrooge was 88, this was 87. And just absolutely love Lethal Weapon. It's easily one of the best buddy cop films of all time. I think these two have terrific chemistry. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. I think these two have excellent chemistry as Riggs and Murtaugh. And they're two polar opposites of one another when it comes to like their personalities. Like Martin Riggs, Mel Gibson's character is more the renegade and more of the crazy one, while Roger Murtaugh, Danny Glover is more of a family man, more of a by the books kind of guy. And these two, what more can you say about this film? Riggs and Murtaugh, they team up together, and they got to go after the villains headed by Gary Busey as Mr. Joshua. Now, Gary Busey is easily the best villain of the Lethal Weapon franchise. He's easily the best villain. I also really like Joss Ackland from Lethal Weapon 2 as the villain. I really like him. But Gary Busey is easily the best villain of the Lethal Weapon films. He's so good. Definitely I would say my favorite film with Gary Busey in it. But like my favorite Gary Busey film with him as the star, it'll be Eye of the Tiger. But this is my favorite film that Gary Busey was in. But you get wonderful action set pieces like the bus right there with the car. You get some really great special effects. A lot of practical explosions and practical gunfire. A lot of really good gun battles. I always love the part, really, really tough to watch, where Mel Gibson's getting tortured by this guy. And the guy that's torturing him is Al Leong, Genghis Khan from Bill and Ted, and one of the bad guys in Die Hard. He was in Big Trouble in Little China. So, and on top of that too, Richard Donner did an excellent job directing the film. I'm a big fan of Richard Donner in general as a director. Really love Lethal Weapon, Scrooged. I like The Toy with Richard Pryor. I also really like 16 Blocks with Bruce Willis. Richard Donner, The Goonies, of course. But I would probably say for Richard Donner films, I'd probably say this is my favorite film that he's directed, Lethal Weapon. What more can you say about Lethal Weapon that has not been said before? It's one of the best buddy cop films of all time. I like, too, that it does take place during the holiday season, during Christmas. So, kind of like Die Hard, where it's a Christmas film, like an action movie. And I'm a big fan of these two guys as actors. Mel Gibson, of course, Mad Max, these films, of course, but I liked him in Signs. What else did he do that was Payback was really good. The Patriot, Braveheart. Mel Gibson's a very solid actor. Danny Glover, of course, Danny Glover. I'm a big fan of Danny Glover. Predator 2. I grew up with him on Angels in the Outfield he was the manager. He was also in Danny Glover. Just look up Danny Glover. He's been in a lot of movies. And this is easily one of the best pair ups for a buddy cop flick. And I'm a big fan of the buddy cop flick subgenre. Like, I love Tango and Cash. I love I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren. I love these films, especially the first one. I even like Collision Course. I like Stakeout. I'm thinking of like buddy cop films, The Hard Way. So I'm a really big fan of the buddy cop subgenre of movies. And like I said, very well done action, very solidly directed by Richard Donner. I thought the music by Michael Kamen and Eric Clapton, really great music score. I think it's written by Shane Black. I thought he did a really good job writing the film. He got some really fun dialogue between these two. And like I said, their chemistry is just off the charts good. Just amazing chemistry between these two people. Gary Busey, very great bad guy. I love Gary Busey. I mean, it even says one of the best lines on the back here. Happy from Mel Gibson to Danny Glover. Happy birthday, man. Maybe we'll stay alive long enough for me to buy you a present. So, like I said, you get some really fun dialogue between these two. Like I said, I think Shane Black wrote a good script. And ironically enough, actually, the film editor of this was Stuart Baird, who would do U.S. Marshals, and I think Star Trek Nemesis as well. But yeah, who hasn't seen Lethal Weapon? I mean, if you haven't seen Lethal Weapon, then what are you waiting for? Easily one of the best action films of all time, and definitely a really good film to watch on Christmas, that's for sure. So that's pretty much it for my review for Lethal Weapon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.